from town to town with a horse trailer dragging behind. Just a cowboy lost in a modern world. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Not a day goes by, don't think about how my life used to be. Now I'm out of my prime and I'm losing time, and nobody's calling for me. They used to call my name come roundup time. Now the four-wheelers takes my place, and the cowboy life that I've always loved is getting lost without a trace. But I won't give up and I won't give in. I'm a cowboy till I die. And I know there's got to be a place for me underneath big western sky. Headed out west, gonna do my best to leave the civilized world behind. Just me, my saddle, and an honest horse will try to go back in time, where surely there'd be a warm campfire or a bunkhouse calling my name. But tonight I'll sleep in my pickup truck, 'cause I'm still not playing their game. The world may turn, but the thing they can't change is the way I feel inside. A prairie fire may burn itself out, but you can't snuff a cowboy's pride. I'll be what I am and I'll do what I do. This life is worth fighting for. Yeah, the cowboy life is alive for me and 10,000 more. The cowboy life is alive for me.
Welcome back to the horsemanship. Here we are with Smoking Lady again. To the few of y'all that helped contribute to GoFundMe page, I thank you. Still short, but I still thank you, because I was thinking, you know, this modern technology and everything, you know, to help pay the bills and me making these videos, since I'm getting back on track with it, you know, the GoFundMe page might necessarily not be for the mayor. It's y'all who watches these videos to show your appreciation. You know, me and Cindy's weekends, we could be out doing something else instead of filming. And me at night sitting there editing it and everything else. So any help y'all appreciate, we could use a covered arena and all kinds of stuff. You know, won't make my barn to a show barn instead of a working old man's barn. Anyway, so we're back here with Smoking Lady. It's muddy as cane out there. But I'm going to show there's a lot of stuff y'all can do even when the weather is not permitting outside one way or the other. So, you know, I wish I made the barn 14-foot hallway, but I made it 12-foot, but we still got enough room for her next stage anyway. Because today we're going to bid her up. I've had to bid on her already and work on her flexing. And when I bid them up, I not necessarily really like ground driving. I might a little bit with her just to show some things, but I prefer to do it all right next to her or in the saddle. And but there's another important part too with slowing it down a little bit like we will today. I want to just spend time with her. I wanted the round pen to show you like how I might do a training session with her, and I got where I spent just a lot of just quality time with her and everything to get her to trust me more and more. And Cindy can tell you what she's doing right now. Let me pet on her hip, and she's all comfortable. That's why that leg's cocked. It's not to kick me, it's because she's getting nice and relaxed. And what, you know, and just a few tidbits on, like with her tied up, you know, what she'd do, if I went over this way, she'd move that hip real quick that way. If I moved this way, she'd move that hip real quick that way. So what I do every time I'd saddle her up here, I wouldn't just concentrate on it, but I would move back and forth and work around her till she slowed down. And that's all each step was just waiting for her to slow down and calm down. I didn't really care so much that she stopped moving. I just wanted her to slow down if she moved, because I don't really mind if a horse moves that hip every time I get on that side, because if they do that, I don't have to worry about getting kicked by some horses. So I didn't really purposely, this is my point. I'm working on things a little bit at a time, each individual thing, without purposely say, okay, I'm gonna work on making her stay still tight all day. Number one, I don't believe in tying a horse all day up, teaching patience anyway. 9 times out of 10, that so-called horse needs to be teach patience, needs to be handled different. Doesn't have nothing to do with the horse. So right now, like I said, I'm just petting on her. And I'll show you what I did to get her used to the bit. Now when I first, come on girl. When I first put a bit in her mouth, I just had her what we call wear it. I just worked her with other things. I never touched it until she started getting used to it. And then after she quit chewing on it and she was comfortable, and then I started playing with it. I've only had the bit in her mouth about 3 times. So I'm just going to sit here. Everybody they get too caught up with what they want to get done. There. What I did, and when I said there, I introduced that bit to the top part of her nose, right here. Now you're not going to see it, but she started feeling with it. So when she started doing that, that's telling me this part of her mouth is relaxed. And I just put my thumb in there and slipped it in. And she'll get like Charlie. Charlie, all I gotta do is present the bit to him. And he puts it in his mouth. I don't put it in there. So like, good girl. So like I said, we're in a hallway, so you think you're limited what you can do. Actually, I'm not, because I can work on her flexing. Now with her, this is going to be the tricky part. I'm going to have to set the camera up, the shot up. So, when I first got her to flex, I picked up my inside rein like here, and you see how soft she is now? She would bend, but she wasn't soft. She would fight. She didn't fight, she just wouldn't give to it. So, you know, the rule of thumb, everybody tells you, wait for that give and release. Well, all I had to do, I'd kiss and move that hip. And then she'd move and she would get soft through her neck and she'd start giving. You know, we get, and I'm guilty of it as stuff. I've got away from some of it. But, you know, I've seen people sit there. Saw one guy half hour flex their horse back and forth while their feet's not moving. And when he gets the horse's feet moving, easy. The horse didn't have a clue. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flex her and ask for that hip to move. There we go. Now what I did, there's little tidbits. Whoops. When I'm doing that, what I'll do, I'll grab hold this I'll come up here and ask her to give. So I'm using a saddle to help my balance. Because at this stage, yeah, at some point I like to be able to bend her and she not move. Like right there. Now she's got some softness there. Her feet stopped and she wasn't pulling on my hand. I let her have her head back. I'm going to do it again. She gave to me, she's soft, I'm going to give it back. But I started that, I got there from getting that hip to move, getting that softness. I mean, like today where it's muddy outside and everything, you know, I can still get a lot done. Now, the camera's not going to pick up a lot of it. So what I do from there, what I'll do, I'm going to ask for a step back coming off the bit. So I want to get her feet moved. So while her feet's moving, my hand position is going to change. I put up towards the saddle horn. And you know she backed off that. In other words, I'm riding her. My hand comes up here, put a little pressure. I want her to back off. Now, I wish there was some way y'all could see it and feel it. There we go. So I'm just picking it. I'll pick up. I'll gradually increase my pressure, and as soon as she rocks back, I'm going to release. I'm going to pick up, increase the pressure. She rocks back, she releases. I release. I'm going to pick up. And right there was gentle. Anytime you start flexing a horse and everything, and I saw one guy did this the other night. He's just jerking on that horse one way and the other, flexing it. So when I do start flexing a horse, I'm just going to pick up right there. You can see how slack my left rein is, but she's given to it. She's given to it. So she's figuring out that give. If I just jerked it, she wouldn't have time to figure that give. So right there, I'm gonna pick up. She moves. I'm gonna ask her to move that hip. And I just got my fingers open, palm open. Now I can pick up, and she backs off. See, so what I'm doing on a muddy day in the hallway, I'm teaching her how to give to that bit. I'm teaching her how to back up. Now at some point, like right now, she's backing off that bit, so I'm gonna grab her two hands. And she rocks back. So I stop. I'm gonna grab her two hands. She takes a step back. I give it back to her. She gives it back to her. And if you watch my reins, I'm not pulling hard. If I pulled hard, I'm not training her how to move off that field, because she'll start fighting me. Like right there, I just picked up. I'm just basically picking up my reins. Good girl. Yeah, she's gonna make a nice horse. Now, I like doing all this before, let's say I would ground drive her with a bit. I like doing all that before I ground drive her, because it wouldn't be fair to her to just start ground driving without her, even though I can ground drive her with the halter, and she gives nicely now. It's still, you know, you add a bit in, and it's still a different ball game. And right now, I'm not concerned about her getting on the vertical. So I'm just gonna pick up my hands a little bit. She rocks back. I'm gonna pick up my hand a little bit. She rocks back. Pick up my hand a little bit, and she's rocking back. And if I don't know if the camera's catching it, but if you notice, the raise is, I'm doing this just my thumb. That's all it's taking right now. Because I want her to get soft to this bit, know what this bit is, and know that it's not going to hurt her. Good girl. Come on. Move. There we go. I mean, this is just going to be a short tidbit. So all I'm doing now is I'm not letting the weather tell me what I'm going to do. I'm still spending time with her and, train her, get used to the bit. I like that. I don't know if the camera's even, if y'all on camera even can appreciate what just happened. Like I said, I'm not worried about her getting in frame, but you're taking all I did, right now I got to put a little more pressure. There, I just lifted that hand up and just took some of that slack out of that rein. That's all I did. You know, a horse like her is really, something to tell you, she's a forward moving little bugger. She likes to move forward. And like we say, she's stuck on me. You know, I see people giving their horse carrots and treats to get them horses. Well, I want the horse to love me. The best thing you do for a horse is give this horse leadership, and the right kind of leadership. Not a bunch of beating on them, but be, like I always say, talk loud and clear and be fair to them and put yourself in that horse's position. You know, at the beginning, the first time Cindy seen this horse, she bolted to the stall door. Luckily enough, the mare's got some sense, and when she saw the door, she threw the brakes on. But that was Cindy's introduction to her. That's when I walked in the stall. And we went from that. Now, this is to y'all who wants your horse to really love them. My question to y'all, which would you rather have, a horse that's following me because she wants to, versus a horse following me because I'm going to give it this little carrot? Personally, I'd rather have a horse follow me because she feels safe to me, with me, and you watch her. Wherever I'm at, this mare's there. She's really paying attention to me. And it's because I've always been fair to her. You know, I know she's going to have little quirks, and I know her quirks. I read them real quick, and I worked with her. I did not work, that's an important part. I worked with her, not against her. So her little quirks, I worked with them. I used them quirks to my advantage. So like I said, this is just a little shorty. Just show you, just because it's nasty outside, don't use that for excuse. I came in here, I played with her a little bit, and you know, this few minutes on the video, that goes a long way. As a matter of fact, with a mare like her, slowing it down sometimes will really help. She's a mare in my younger days at a clinic. I could have caught her, broke her, and rolled her and all in the first day. Wouldn't have did the mare no good. It would have made me look good, but wouldn't did the mare and the owner no good. So that's all my tidbit for a day. And like I said, thank y'all for the people funding to the GoFundMe page. And on Facebook, Smoking Lady here's got a fan page now. And we're just showing little things, you know, we're doing. If I think about it, I'll take pictures of her while I got her out and just talk about her progress during the day. So, I want to really thank y'all, especially been getting some emails from the older people that's been around since I started this YouTube stuff. And I really appreciate it. It doesn't go, I do think about it, and I really thank y'all. Now, when I take this, I want to show y'all something about when I take this bit off. I'm not going to take the mouthpiece out of her mouth. That's where a lot of people go wrong. They pull that mouthpiece out. So I'm just going to hold it, and it's that simple. Let them walk it out. If it feels like it's getting stuck, be patient and let them walk it out. The horse will take the bit better and everything else, and you'll never have trouble. So that's start and finish. So I always say, you know, be true to a horse, and they'll be true to you. and talk loud and clear. Be able to put yourself in their heads. You know, we don't think like them, but so you got to go with their experience and everything else. And to my kids, grandkids, special person out there, watch day late. K-Nay, God bless, take care.